Hello and welcome. So in this video, we'll see how to attach a Google Storage bucket to a VM instance, which is a computer on the cloud that we can, create and rent for however long we want. So typically when you create a bucket, you can post any kind of data into that bucket, but it's not easy to edit the data that's in the bucket. So for that, it's helpful to, let's say, have a VM instance that will let you connect to the bucket and make edits to it and so on. So we'll see how to basically create a mirror folder in the VM instance that mirrors whatever is there in the bucket. So for that, I'm just going to first create a VM instance, and I'm just going to use all the standard settings, and just for security, I'm going to allow full access to all cloud APIs and hit create, so that I have a very simple VM instance running. So while that is getting started, I'm going to head over to my buckets and create a new bucket. So I can just give it a simple name. Let's say my new bucket. I can just, it has to be a unique name across all buckets in the Google, ecosystem. So you might sometimes run into a clash with another name. So in that case, just make sure to give a longer name. And then I'm choosing all the other default options and hitting create. And so that will result in the creation of the bucket. So the bucket has been created. Now, so I have this VM instance that is just about started. Okay, so I'm going to go to the SSH button, click that, and that will result in the terminal, initiated through my web browser. I authorize it, and I now have a connection to my VM instance. So now I need to install a piece of software called GCS Fuse. Okay, so the GCS Fuse could, the ultimate goal is to do a apt-get install. I can use sudo apt-get install. But for me to do that, the GCS Fuse software has to be in the list of packages that the apt system recognizes. So for that, I need to do a few things. So first, I need to specify the right Linux version that I'm using, and then I need to pass it on as part of the string. Create a this combination string, and so that will add the GCS Fuse apt repository to my system's list of package sources. So now if I were to run install GCS Fuse, it will recognize, oh, it is there, and it can download that. The third thing I also need to do is, download the GPG public key for Google Cloud apt repository. Basically, it allows the apt key to verify the authenticity of the download packages. So don't worry too much about all this. So these are just commands that you need to enter. So after you do that, you can update your apt-get, and then you can install GCS Fuse. So we'll do these things now. So I'm just going to first run the first command, and now I'm going to list now I'll download the GPG public key, and finally I'll do my sudo apt-get update, updating my sudo apt my apt-get, and finally I will install my GCS Fuse. Say yes, uppercase Y. And it'll take probably a minute. Okay, so the GCS Fuse has been installed. So now what we can do is basically create a folder. So let's say I create a folder called GCS-Bucket. It can be any name, right? So I can create that folder over here in my main folder. So right now, if you see, there is nothing here. It's empty. Now I can go ahead and use the make-dir command to create the GCS-Bucket folder in my home directory. So this tilde sign over here indicates that I want to create GCS bucket folder in my home directory, and I hit enter. Now if I say ls space -l, I do see the GCS bucket folder here in my VM instance. Now I want to fuse this, or mirror this to my bucket in my Google storage over here. So to do that, I am going to run this command here, GCS Fuse, your bucket name, but instead of your bucket name, I'm going to obviously use the name of my bucket over here. I'm just going to copy the name of that bucket, and instead of your bucket name, I'm going to paste that here like this, and I'm going to copy this command over. Into my VM instance and hit enter. And it looks like it has been successfully mounted. So now the connection has been made. And just to confirm this, we are going to once again ls-l cd gcs-bucket, hit enter, and you can see that it is empty. It is empty, completely no files at all. Now what I'm going to do is go over to Google storage into my bucket, and I am going to drag and drop a file into that bucket. So I have this CSV file. It's called tripdatashot.csv, and I just dragged and dropped it into that bucket. And let's just give it a few seconds. Let me refresh. Slightly big file. Okay, so there it is. So I have my tripdatashot.csv. Now I cannot really look at what's inside this file in my bucket because my bucket does not allow the user interface for me to do that. So I would like to be able to view the contents inside my VM instance. So here now, if I see ls-l, now I do see the tripdatashot.csv file. Earlier I did not see it, now I see it. Okay, so just to verify that this mirroring happens both ways, I'm going to cp tripdatashot into tripdata2.csv. So I'm just going to copy, make a copy of this file in the same folder. Okay, so if I do that, now if I go back to my bucket and if I say refresh, I will see that I have the trip_data2.csv file, which I just now made a copy out of the old file in the GCS bucket. So you can see that the VM instance GCS bucket is completely mirrored to this bucket that we specified. And now you can look at what's inside these files. You can say more data2.csv. You can do that and you can see what's inside these files, and so on. Okay, so you can also unmount this. Once you're done with this, you can say cd ... and cd space ... and then you can go back to the parent directory where you see the GCS bucket folder. Now that I'm ready to unmount my GCS bucket because I'm done with it or whatnot, I can disconnect the link between the GCS bucket in my VM instance and my bucket in the rs123 my new bucket in the Google storage by using the fuser mount command, fuser-mount-u and then folder name, and I can copy that and paste it here. Just make sure you're in the parent folder, so you're not inside GCS bucket, but you're outside it, just so that otherwise it will not let you do it. And once you're outside it, you can see the GCS bucket if you do ls-l. And now if you type in fuser-mount-u GCS bucket, that will result in unmounting the bucket. And now if you say ls-l, that bucket, that folder is still there, but I don't know if its contents will be there. Its contents are not there. So that means it has now disconnected from the bucket, the Google storage bucket itself. So that's it for now. And before you go, please don't forget to delete any unnecessary files from your bucket. I'm hitting delete here. And also go to the VM instance, select the VM instance, and be sure to delete it, otherwise it will run into unnecessary charges. So that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.